Hi everybody, it's Laura from Green Tree. Sorry, I had to adjust a little bit there. Today I am coming to you from our cool little seating area just outside the store because it's a beautiful day and I thought I would come out here. So you might get a little background noise of wind or cars coming and going, but you know, we always get a little bit of that in the store anyway. So today's going to be kind of a short one. I am just talking about what the term organic means and doesn't mean, and kind of contrasting that with some of the other terms that you'll see on packaging. So when I'm talking about organic, I'm talking about USDA organic and this little green and white seal right here that you see on this bottle that I can't get to focus. There you go. Oh, well, we had it for a second. So that USDA organic seal, that's only going to be on products that have a minimum of 95% organic ingredients. Products that have at least 70% organic ingredients can say something like made with organic wheat on the package or made with organic corn. So it's the vast majority of ingredients in that product are organic, but there's a significant portion that isn't, so it can't use the seal. So when you see this, you know that the ingredients in this product, the vast majority of them are certified organic. The reason that it's at 95% is some things like water and salt and other natural minerals can't always be actually certified as organic, so it can't always hit that 100% even with all natural ingredients. The other thing you'll often see along with the organic seal is this little non-GMO verified sticker, the little thing with the butterfly. Now, when something is certified organic, it is automatically also non-GMO. That is part of what's required in the certification. Sorry, it's a little windy. I keep having to situate. But so that non-GMO certification, you will often see it on the same products as the USDA certified organic seal. Everything with that seal is going to be non-GMO, but a lot of companies know that consumers like to see both of those things, and so they'll go out of their way to also get that non-GMO verified certification through another third-party certifier. But you don't need to have it. If it's got the green and white, it's already non-GMO. Another thing about USDA organic is when it comes to animals, in order to get that certification, they have to be able to have outdoor access and the ability to, and this is the direct wording, engage in natural behaviors. For animals like chickens, this will mean pecking and scratching, being able to get up on something and roost. For cows and other ruminants, this will mean being able to get out onto the grass and actually graze like they would naturally. Now, the degree of outdoor access will vary from farm to farm. This is why I like to go for the local organic whenever possible, because with these smaller scale farms, people like us at Green Tree, we've been able to go out and visit them, talk to the farmers, and get information on those specific practices and see where the animals are being kept. As far as national brands go, I personally really like Organic Valley, because Organic Valley and their meat production line, Organic Prairie, is actually a cooperative. Just the way that Green Tree is owned by members of the community, Organic Valley is owned by farmers. So it's a farmer-owned cooperative, where it's a bunch of these smaller farms that are working together to be able to produce more of something and distribute it on a larger scale. The same way that we work together with other cooperatives to get better deals and have a nationwide distribution setup. So that's something that's kind of interesting, is that, you know, not all organic is totally equal, but there are certain minimum requirements that everybody has to meet in order to get that seal. Another thing about the organic seal is if you have that organic seal on your product and you are, say, growing crops, you cannot use sewage, human sewage, as a fertilizer. Sorry, you heard that, heard the horn going off in the background there. Apparently, nobody likes the idea of using sewage as a fertilizer. But that's something that is allowed on conventional crops and is not allowed in organic crops. By and large, the main fertilizer for organic crops is composted fertilizer, composted manure that's coming from cows or chickens or other farm animals versus human sewage. So that's a nice thing about it. Also organic animals, especially this applies to cows and other, again, ruminants. And ruminants, these are the animals that have the multiple stomachs and like chew cud, grazing animals. They can't be fed plastic pellets in order to increase the fiber in their diet, whereas that is something they can do for conventional animals. Organic animals have to have that actual access to pasture and natural fiber in their diet. Organic also means that you can't have synthetic fertilizers and hormones and antibiotics given to the animals. If an organic animal gets sick, this is a common question. It's not like the farmer doesn't treat them. They are required to treat the animal with antibiotics if it becomes sick. So sick animals are treated. They just then are removed from the organic pool and they'll be sold on to a conventional farmer or maybe even used for the farmer's own personal family, depending on the scale of that farm. But they cannot be fed this in broad production, so they're not getting that sort of preventative antibiotics that conventional animals are typically being fed. It's often used as like a growth booster in conventional animals, and you don't get that with organic animals either. So no hormones, synthetic pesticides, synthetic herbicides, synthetic fertilizers, no plastic in the diet, no sewage as fertilizer, no GMOs. So those are some of the really main important things with organic. And one of the other big ones is crop rotation. A lot of conventional farmers will do crop rotations anyway, where say you plant soy, harvest the soy, plant corn, plant soy, harvest the soy, plant corn, and they'll alternate back and forth. With organic farmers, they tend to do longer rotations. They'll have 3 or even 5 crops that are getting rotated on the same piece of land. And this is to help the soil not get depleted, because one plant is sucking the same nutrients out of the soil over and over and over again. You'll also see more companion planting with organic practices, especially in smaller farms, where multiple different types of crops are being planted together in order to increase, again, both the soil health and the health of the plants themselves. Also with organic, you'll see a lot more natural pest management because they can't use the synthetic herbicides and pesticides. So you'll see things like natural predators, things like releasing ladybugs, sort of biological things like I can never remember the exact name of it, but there's this particular, it's called BT, which is it's a bacteria, I believe, that you can use in order to kill certain types of pests and funguses and stuff that'll grow on plants. So they'll use these natural methods instead, and they'll encourage local wildlife, birds and insects and stuff that help keep the plants healthy. So it's just a more holistic system altogether. It does also tend to mean, though this is not guaranteed, that the farmers themselves and the workers on the farms get paid a bit more than they tend to with conventional products, because usually these farmers are trying to create a better system overall. Again, the smaller scale farm or groups like Organic Valley that are using farmer cooperatives where they're owned by the people producing the goods, this tends to be more the case. So you're really passing it all the way through the food chain and helping to sustain it by doing that little bit extra on top of the regular price. We could also get into farm subsidies, but I'm not going to do that here. If you're interested, though, look up farm subsidies and how that affects the pricing of organic versus non-organic crops. So there you go. That's kind of the rundown on organic. And then also I will just say natural. When you see natural on a label, that's not at all regulated by the USDA or the FDA as far as I know. So if a product says natural, that's just something that the company is saying, and you should read the list of ingredients, check out the practices, and decide for yourself whether or not that's a product that you would consider natural, because it's pretty much anybody can use it. So there you go. That's organic versus natural. If you have any other questions about labeling claims, what these little logos that you see on your packages mean, feel free to go ahead, post them in the comments, ask when you're in the store. I'm always loving to talk about food and answer these kinds of questions. So thanks for joining me, giving me a chance to sit outside. Hopefully pretty soon I'm going to do a store tour for you guys, because if you've been in, you've seen we have reorganized a lot of the store, brought in some new products, made more room for produce. Watch for that in the next week or so. As soon as we get everything really nailed down, I'm going to give you guys a walkthrough of that. So I hope that you're having a Friday that's just as beautiful as this weather, and I will see you later. Bye guys.